Hey, this is Seth, and in this video, I want to share with you my #1 hack to discover a career that you would actually enjoy and love. This is something that I know a lot of people struggle with, and it makes sense because, most of us spend 12 years or 16 years in a school environment, and then suddenly they'll tell you you have to pivot into the workforce, and you've never spent any time in the workforce, so it's very daunting, and it's like, I don't know what these jobs are, I don't know what they're like, but I'm supposed to somehow figure out what my major is and what career I want to go into. So I'm going to just tell you how to actually figure out the right career for you faster and easier than any other tip you've ever heard before. But before I get to that, please remember, if you like this content, like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified whenever I upload more useful advice videos. So here is my advice for you guys. Don't worry about personality tests, career tests, or what your parents or teachers have told you about what career. I'm sure you already have some ideas of the kind of career. Most of us, even when we're little kids, like when I was 5, I wanted to be G.I. Joe. I wanted to be a military guy. Then I wanted to be a detective. I had all these ideas about what I wanted to be when I grew up. Then I was gonna be a biological cancer researcher. I had all these ideas before I ended up, going to film school and then being a waiter and then being a digital marketer. Your career is gonna have so many different fluctuations. This idea that people give you in school that you're just gonna pick a career and go with it for the rest of your life is really nonsense. Most people change careers. But here's a way that you can actually have a better shot at finding the career you love, okay? Don't worry about any of the concepts that you have about what job you should go into or the pressure you're getting from your family. What you need to do is write down 3 or 5 possible career paths that you've been thinking about that you might be interested in. And you have to connect with a person that has been working in that field. It's that simple. It's just like when we go online and we want to know if a restaurant is any good. What do? You can look at the restaurant website, but what's better? You find a review from someone that ate there and say, is it any good? So when it comes to a career, you can nowadays, because of the internet, you can find people in almost any profession, except maybe professional rock star, right? You're like, I want to be a rock star, so I'm going to call up Dave Grohl. Can't really do that. But most other careers are much more accessible. I think you want to be a chemical engineer, an aerospace engineer. You want to work in marketing. You can find people that work in those fields, connect with them, and get more information and more of a sense of the job than you could through any of these sort of esoteric career tests. So how do you do that? I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So the first thing you need to do is make sure you have a LinkedIn profile. And even if you're just a student, you can put student as your occupation. The most important thing about a LinkedIn profile is that you have a nice photograph of yourself and that you have filled out the profile. Even if you don't have that much information to put in there, it's fine for what we're doing. Remember, you're not trying to get a job. You're just exploring what job is right for you. And this, guys, LinkedIn is a resource that is so amazing. They did not have this when I was growing up in the 1990s. If I wanted to meet someone that was like a chemical engineer, I don't even know how I would begin doing that. I'd have to hope somebody in my circle knew someone who had that job. But here with LinkedIn, when you sign up, you literally have access to millions of professionals in all sorts of fields. Now, let's say I want to be an aerospace engineer. It's the first thing that popped into my head. You just type in aerospace engineer and click on people. And you have 151,000 people that are aerospace engineers. And you can organize these results by locations. Maybe there's somebody, what the ideal situation is that you find someone in your hometown. And what you do is very simple. You actually, you may need to have your parents help you, or you may just do it yourself, is get LinkedIn Premium, which allows you to message anybody on LinkedIn. And just pick somebody, go click on their profile. You could even, read a little bit about the person, see if they seem cool, see if they, oh, that's funny, I have a mutual connection with this guy. But you may not have any connections yet, but you could even go back to see like what they majored in. So this guy had a computer science degree. He built a game in C++ and then worked in the Navy, then he became a systems engineer. You can stalk people a little bit and find out a little bit about them. And if you find someone that looks interesting and you're like, oh, this guy has a really cool career path, I'd like to talk to them, you click connect and you send them a message. And in the message, it's very simple what you say. Now, I have LinkedIn Premium because that's part of what I do. But you just write like, dear, I'm just using this guy as a random example. Dear so-and-so, Zachary. This is just a quick example of something you could write. Dear Zachary, sorry to bother you out of the blue, but my name is Seth. I'm a student who's very interested in becoming an aerospace engineer. I was browsing LinkedIn and found your profile. I think it's really cool. mention something about the profile. I also live in this area. I was wondering if I could buy you lunch sometime and ask you questions about working in the industry. It would really help me decide if this is the right path for me. Now, the key element here, guys, is you don't want to go on and on about anything. You don't want to talk a lot about them or yourself. Keep it very short. The point is, you think it's really cool what they're doing, you're interested in this field, and you want to buy them lunch. That is the key. You want to offer them something. So if it's a local person, I would say, yeah, buy them lunch, ask to buy them a coffee, especially if you're a younger person, they're really going to notice this and appreciate it. If you're older, it's still the same thing. It's really just kind of a sign of respect. And honestly, they probably don't get many people reaching out to them on LinkedIn like this. So they're going to more likely really respond to you. If you don't live in the same area as them, that's fine too. Obviously, you can't buy them a cup of coffee. You can just say, I'd be happy to pay you for a consultation to ask you questions. A consultation essentially means that I understand the fact and recognize that I don't know you and that your time is valuable and I'm not owed any of your time. So the worst thing you can do in any of these types of things is, this happens with me all the time. People message me and go, here's my phone number, call me. Like, why would I call you? I don't know you. And it's like, you just want to take something from me. But if you offer the person to pay for their time, 99% of the time, they're going to say, no, that's fine. We don't, you don't have to pay me. I'd be happy to talk to you, And again, these are normal folks with really cool jobs. And there's a list of so many. You can go through the list. Again, aerospace engineer. I just randomly picked up the 2024 U.S. News and World Report. So let's say financial manager. You put in financial manager. You're like, what does that really mean? What does that mean? Investment banker. What does that mean? I want to know more about it. You're going to get a lot better information talking to someone who does it than somebody who is just reading about it. Financial crimes program manager, that's interesting. Financial controller, finance manager, financial manager reporting, financial advisors. There's millions of people that you can connect with. Software developer. And there's a lot of, or software engineer. No, you don't want to look at jobs. You want to look at people. Sorry, the autocomplete got me before I could fix that. Software developer. So we click on people, and again, you're going to see people. So this is like an entry-level person. So he's very, this could be a good person to contact because they're just starting out. You can find somebody that's more senior level. You can find someone who does a specific language that you want to work in JavaScript or Python or something like that. You can go through here, IT manager, physician assistant. Let's say you want to meet you think you want to be a lawyer. I think this is a really good thing you should do if you think you want to be a lawyer, guys, because everything you see on TV is not the same as the day-to-day actual work of being a lawyer. My dad was a lawyer. My grandpa was a judge. So they're both judges. They actually both talked me out of getting into the law. But some people love the law. It's much better for you to talk to a lawyer. So let's say you want to be a litigation attorney. This is somebody who, litigates, like goes to court, like in the movies, like you're like, arguing in front of a jury, that type of stuff. And let's see, commercial litigation, contracts litigation, Nevada, California litigation attorney. You can literally, this search engine is amazing. So I would write down a list, or again, if you have absolutely really no idea, you can literally get on U.S. News and World Report and just look at all these job titles. And then once you've, narrowed it down to a few, just get on this platform and practice connecting with people and just reach out. And you'd be surprised how people will respond to you, especially if you're a student. That's like the biggest thing. That's how I got my first, when I wanted to be a filmmaker, I just reached out to local filmmakers and said, I'll work for free. Can you just show me how filmmaking works? And I got more experience from that than I got from any more value than my time in film school. So I'm sure any of these folks, whether it's a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, any field, they're usually very happy to answer questions. And because again, how often does someone show an interest in their field? You're going to get just so much valuable information talking to someone that's done the job versus taking some personality quiz or something like that. So I hope this has been helpful, guys. I hope that you actually try this out, and feel free to leave comments below. What do you think? Have you tried this? Do you think it's a good idea? If you do this and you talk to someone in the field you're interested in pursuing, I'd love to hear about it. I mean, one of the great things about digital marketing in my course is my students are so open. They share their LinkedIn profile, and a lot of my new students joined because they got to talk to people working in the industry. And that's just more reassuring. And again, it gives you a much more three-dimensional picture of what the career is like and if you'll actually like it or not. So again, hope you found this useful. Feel free to leave your comments or questions below, and I will see you in the next video.